You've been watching Welcome to Jackson High School Sports, live on YouTube.
Field, where the Jackson Ironmen are about ready to take on the Miami Trace Panthers in a Frontier Athletic Conference showdown between the top two teams in the FAC. If you're not aware, the Ironmen have already copped the championship, but Miami Trace is in second, and we're timed our entry into this broadcast about the time we're about ready to get the national anthem, and we don't want to upstage that. So we will take a break, listen to the national anthem, and then we'll be back with the broadcast. Okay, we're back here at Dick Sparky Haller Field. The Ironmen have taken the field, so we're just about ready to go as the Ironmen are hosting the Miami Trace Panthers. And if you're unaware, the Ironmen have already copped the FAC championship by virtue of a 5-1 victory over Miami Trace last Friday. But Dan, when these two teams play each other, always at the top of the FAC, it's always going to matter.
Well, each team has very strong pitching, Pete Wilson, and Miami Trace was right in there. We were somehow last weekend on Friday night able to defeat what could be one of the top pitchers in all southern part of the state, maybe the whole state, in Gage Stuckey, and we came out of there with a 5-1 win. That was a huge win for the Ironmen that clinched the Frontier Athletic Conference championship. So with a Trace win today, they still end up behind the Ironmen. The Ironmen are league champs, but the Ironmen have one thing and one goal in mind, is that to do it for the second year in a row. If you go 10-0 in our league, you get a gold ball. It'd be inscribed as a league championship. It'll stay in the trophy case forever and ever and ever. So it's a pretty special opportunity for Jackson. But here's what I think is a pretty neat stat, Pete. Jackson is going for their 22nd straight Frontier Athletic Conference win in a row.
I tell you what, when you consider the caliber of some of the teams in this conference, especially the two teams out in Fayette County, Washington Courthouse and Miami Trace, great battles with them, regular season and tournament here in recent years. And the Ironmen, in addition to, you know, as long as you're talking numbers and milestones, the Ironmen also hope to win their 20th regular season win of the season, and that is always a level that Coach Josh McGraw aspires for and a few teams get to.
Absolutely. Well, we are about ready to play baseball here. Tucker Williams on the mound for the Ironmen tonight, and Miami Trace coming in here with a 14-3 record, 6-3. All their losses have been within the league, and they did lose one after the Jackson game to Chillicothe, which kind of put them at 6-3 in the Frontier Athletic Conference. So we even have a comfortable 3-game lead at the moment.
Right, but I'm sure they would really like to win this game and get that gold ball, and also bounce back from their first loss of the season, which was last Saturday against a very good Athens team, 7-3.
It's been a while since we've seen Tucker on the mound here at home on the broadcast. It's good to see Tucker back. He's had most of his big-time starts have been on the road here lately.
The 1-1 pitch, an off-speed pitch, it's fouled out of play. At bat for Miami Trace is Gage Bowers, just a freshman and playing the important position of shortstop. And Dan,
outstanding athlete, big-time basketball player, plays all three sports, I think, for Miami Trace, but hit a big bucket against the Ironmen this year, and Miami Trace had the gold ball winning basketball team this season. They were truly outstanding and undefeated for the year.
Williams throws a curveball again outside, 2-2. Bowers, you know he must be special. Just a freshman, point guard in basketball, shortstop in baseball, and leadoff batter.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Three freshmen are in the starting lineup. Swing and a miss. So Williams starts off well against one of Miami Trace's more dangerous players with a swinging strikeout.
Actually, looking at Miami Trace's roster reminded me a little bit of like our softball team. Very good team, but they're only losing 3 seniors. Our softball team is only losing 2 seniors on a 17-5 softball team.
Right, the Miami.
A lot of good future.
Right, Miami Trace with a good future to look to, but they're good every year regardless. And
yes.
Williams buzz ones high and inside to the second batter. That is Brody McBee. He's just a sophomore. He is the second sacker. Williams battling through last week, I understand, just a little bit of arm soreness. So they wanted to protect him a little bit. They knew they wanted him to probably pitch this home game against Miami Trace, not knowing what was going to happen Friday. Of course, Gavin Jones pitched another masterpiece, unearned run, the only score against him to clinch the championship and take away all the suspense.
Well, basically, it was Tucker and Gavin back-to-back in FAC games last week that got us the clinch championship. So good to see Tucker back. There'll be a little bit of a break in here before we'll start talking tournament time also.
That's the way the schedule broke this year. Everything happened a little bit later as far as the tournament goes. The 2-1 pitch, a line drive is over the second baseman's head in front of the right field, and McBee hits a line drive single with 1 out. And so Trace has a runner on base for the catcher, Austin Brown. Miami Trace, as Dan said, 14-3, 16-3 in the conference. Before they even played Jackson, they lost league contests to Chillicothe 9-7 and Hillsborough 10-2. Put them behind the 8 ball, put them in a must-win situation last Friday, and the Ironmen were able to remove all the doubt about the championship by winning that game on the road. Certainly one of their sweetest victories of the season. Tucker throws. Off-speed pitch again, stays down a little bit low for ball 1.
Previous batter, McBee, I wanted to say on there, he's their number 2 hitter in their lineup. He's their highest average, 383 had coming into tonight's game. Kind of got that one off the wrists on the inside part of the bat, but was able to get it over second base, Jensen Green, and into right field for their first hit of the contest.
Pitch is just a little bit low for ball 2. That would put Mr. McBee in Ted Williams territory, I'm guessing, very close to that 400 mark. Jackson, by the way, had been scheduled to play 3 games the rest of the week, and they've already lost 2 of them, Dan. We just learned today before the broadcast. The game at Wheelersburg, or the game here against Wheelersburg Friday, canceled by Wheelersburg. The game Saturday against Warren Local, canceled by Warren Local. The pitch, and that is a bouncer towards Simons. He has to wait for the second hop. Quick throw over to second. Got him there. No throw back to first. Simons had to wait for the second hop. Made an accurate throw over there to Jensen Green to get the lead runner. Austin Brown is safe at first on the fielder's choice.
That's one of those high bouncers there. And you're right, Ryan had to step back and wait on the bounce, but a good job, connection between he and Jensen to get the early runner. Now runner on first still and 2 outs.
And here is Cooper Enix, the first baseman.
Enix, good all-round athlete here for Trace. These are names we've heard all year long.
Right, I know I remember him from basketball.
We have the luxury of getting to do football, basketball, and now baseball games. You get to, so you feel like you know the league players.
First pitch, I think, must have been called a ball. I didn't see the fist go up. Pitch right down Broadway, or I should say down Huron Street for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 men out, 1 man on here in the top half of the first inning. Plenty of time to get out live if you want to. Pretty good weather. We do have a threat of rain a little bit later in the evening, maybe before this was over. Let's hope that doesn't happen. 1-1 pitch is down low, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. We look out over the center field fence, and the old Glory is pretty limp there. The wind not really a problem. We had bright sunshine here in the warm-up period, but now it's clouded up a little bit, and sun is not an issue for those outfielders out there, particularly the right fielder. And that is hit in the air. Right fielder goes over, center fielder comes over. Looks like the right fielder is going to take it. And he does. That's Ashton Seymour out there. So in the inning for Miami Trace, there was no runs. They got one hit. There was no Jackson errors. One runner was left on base at the end of the first half inning of play. It's the Miami Trace Panthers 0 and your Jackson Ironmen coming to bat. You are listening and watching Jackson Ironmen Baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over our low rock bottom prices. One of America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built to manufactured homes in southern Ohio with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, Teddy Bear.
Hurry down to Stillhouse Rock.
Life is unpredictable, but with Dan Daly at State Farm, you can be prepared for anything. Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, Dan and his team are here to provide personalized coverage that fits your needs. Get the protection you deserve from a name you trust. Dan Daly State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Visit online or stop by in Jackson, Ohio. You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad Niddle and Edward Jones are a proud sponsor of Jackson Ironman Baseball on WYPC. Give us a call at 740-286-4872 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Two-two pitch coming to Gage Stuckey. And that is hit in the air. The left fielder, Bodie Wolford.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
And he is their leading base stealer with 13 stolen bases, so nice to keep him off the base path.
Absolutely, and Tucker Williams has gotten two pretty good hitters to fly out fairly deep, but the balls hit way up in the air, and they were not difficult putouts. Here's Evan Colgrove, the third baseman, 2 up, nobody on, and he hits it in the air. The right fielder's coming in, the second baseman's going out, and Jetson Green takes it. So 3 balls in the air and 3 outs for Miami Trace in the inning. They go down quickly, no runs, no hits, nobody left, no Jackson errors. In the middle of the second, it's the Jackson Ironmen nothing, the Miami Trace Panthers nothing. This is Jackson Ironman Baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
Home home. It's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One of the best tickets in town will always be activities at our local schools. Athletic events, concerts, and plays. You can always count on an enjoyable time. Our children are the future. Let's give them all the encouragement that we can. Go to a game, hear a concert, see a play. Ohio Valley Bank. Community first. Member FDIC.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
In what so far has been a quick-moving game, the Ironmen will have the 5, 6, 7 hitters up against Xavier Lawhorn. That means Noah Ernst, the catcher, will lead off. Just took another check on my phone for what the weatherman in the phone says. Now they've moved the threat of rain back to about 7 o'clock, so that's a little bit better, Dan. But you know what? How it could be? It could start raining in 5 minutes. Nice fastball in there for a strike to Noah Ernst. Looking behind us, it doesn't look that bad, you know, partly cloudy behind us.
We're pretty lucky. We sat here freezing a number of times this year. I'm enjoying this.
You know, we're in the 70s of temperature-wise. That's comfortable. And that's a nice pitch on the outside edge, but just a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's what Noah Ernst thought, and he was right. Ernst,
I think Ernst does know the plate pretty well.
Yep, signed, sealed, and delivered to Ohio University. An early commit, actually, in his career.
You know, it's so neat that Total Media has taken such a interest in to really be the voice of the Bobcats now. If you've been listening, you know, they televise a lot of their softball and baseball games on the radio, different stations.
And that pitch is outside, and Lawhorn has gone to 3-1 against Ernst.
And what makes it really special is when OU gets some local kids there. One of them's going to be Noah Ernst over the next few years.
Right. Well, Noah certainly got the size and the power and
it definitely has the arm,
the throwing ability, and he is a good hitter as well. He is the complete package, it would appear. 3-1 pitch coming to Noah, and that is low and away, ball 4. And so Jackson gets the leadoff runner on via the base on balls.
Tucker Williams, a notorious bunter, and when I say notorious, how about just saying excellent bunter? Always a threat to not only bunt for a sacrifice, but when he bunts, it's more for a hit.
I think the Miami Trace has seen some of our streams. The third baseman Colgrove is already in on the grass.
Yes, he is.
Of course, a kind of a bunting situation here. Plus, Tucker's liable to do it anyway in any situation, and he fakes to bunt and draws the ball back.
Tucker handles the bat well enough. If he could slide a bunt, now he's a great bunter down the third baseline. If you could bunt one down the first baseline, I think you can outrun the bunt yourself and everybody's safe.
Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Lawhorn delivers out of the stretch, and there's a bunt towards the third baseman, and it goes foul. Nice bunt, but it just bounced foul.
Yep.
Looks like they cut the grass here, so the grass was a little quicker than it usually is. Usually that ball doesn't have a lot of movement once it gets into the grass, and the Jackson batters kind of know how to bunt.
Now we'll see if Tucker stays with it with the 1 strike count.
Colgrove still in at third base. That would have been a tough play, and he was wise to let it bounce foul.
He stepped in a couple steps closer now. Tucker gets down first base pretty well.
That pitch is called strike 2 over the inside corner. Williams thought maybe it was inside and did not try to bunt it. That's probably a high inside pitch, is probably the toughest one to bunt.
It would have been a tough bunt to get down.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Tucker Williams. Doubt if he's going to be bunting here, but we'll see. Pitch is away, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colgrove, given the situation, backs up onto the dirt now at third base. Still in a little bit. The infielders are about the regular position, not too pinching towards the base here. 2-2 pitch coming to Tucker Williams. in there, called strike 3. Looked like a pretty good pitch, Dan, that Tucker took for out number 1.
Pretty good fastball. He'd hit that curve that got him on the second strike, a slow curve that just caught the inside edge of the plate. Would have been a tough one to bunt. Comes back with the fastball and just got it by Tucker.
And here's Bodie Wolford. And I tell you one thing that Bodie's done, this is the 3rd sports season for him. He's a 3-sports guy. He has improved immeasurably in each sport, and that includes baseball.
Yes.
In his junior season.
That you would have to agree.
And that ball is hit deep but foul and out of play. Of course, he had, we think he broke the passing record for, what was it, yards in a single season?
And he's,
or what, touchdowns? One or the other.
And he's just, I think, a few touchdowns away from being the all-time touchdown
career, at least
thrower.
in the modern era where there was passing. And of course,
in an era where there's a lot more passing than there used to be.
Was he not the leading average scorer in basketball, too?
Yeah, it was all district in basketball.
They were all close.
Yep.
Even scoring by that starting
But his
spot,
hitting has improved in power. With power, he's so much stronger this year on the baseball diamond also. And we saw him pitch 3 great innings against Athens, even though it was in a losing cause, to keep us at least in the game just Saturday.
Right. That was kind of lost in there because, it was so disappointing to have to suffer that first loss, even though it was almost inevitable.
Yep.
But Wolford pitched very well. Athens hit the ball very well, but not so much against Wolford. And back. Oh, and the ball gets by the
first baseman. No, it gets it easily to second, and he's going to stop there. That one went down the right field side toward the bullpen, but he gets the second base on the error on the throw.
Right. I tell you what, Dan, I mean, I know we're a long way away, but it looked like that was one the first baseman could have had. I mean, maybe
grazed his top of his glove.
Right. So anyway, it's an error nonetheless, and Ernst is on at second base. And the count is 1-1 with 1 out to Bodie Wolford. Nice pitch on the outside corner. Couldn't put it in a better place. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Some guy by the name of Dan Dobbins. You ever heard of him?
I believe he has.
He said we were struggling a little bit with our audio as far as equipment-wise. They have corrected it. So people, if you were wondering where we were last inning, we are here. We're talking.
Contrary to opinion, it wasn't the tech crew turning us down because they thought that would be better for the broadcast. And there is a bouncer towards the second baseman.
It's going to be tough.
Throw over to first, got him. Second baseman stayed with it, was able to get Wolford at first base. Ernst goes over to third on the bouncer, the slow bouncer to the second baseman. So with 2 outs, Ashton Seymour, who has had some big hits this season, including a game-winning sacrifice fly against somebody, can't remember who that was. He comes up now with a potential first run of the game down there at third base with 2 outs.
That was a walk-off hit in that win here at Sparky Howler Field. Freshman got really a nice bit of confidence, I think, with that one.
Nice pitch by Lawhorn, a fastball on the outside edge for strike 1. Both of these pitchers seem to be on as far as their control goes. I don't think it's a real loose strike zone right now, so they have to throw strikes. It's the way it looks, and a nice curveball kind of fooled him there. No balls and 2 strikes as Lawhorn doing a good job mixing up the fastball and the curve. He needs the out just like Seymour wants the hit. 0-2 pitch coming. And that ball is hit hard but way foul over to the right side. People mowing the lawn in there.
AD should send him a bill if he starts mowing over those bases.
That's a mowing crew across the way on Urine Street in danger there. I think they're still mowing, so they're all right.
Cheese is fearless over there.
Count to Seymour is 0-2. Cheese is a person, by the way. Swing and a miss. Would have been strike 3 anyway, the way it looked. So nice pitching there by Lawhorn to remove the Jackson threat after Ernst had reached third. No runs, no hits. 1 Miami Trace error, 1 runner left on third base. At the end of 2 innings of play, it's the Jackson Ironmen 0, the Miami Trace Panthers 0. This is Jackson Ironmen Baseball that you're listening and watching to on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
A healthy, confident smile starts here at Southern Ohio Smiles. Whether you need a routine cleaning, cosmetic dentistry, or advanced dental care, our expert team is here to make your experience comfortable and stress-free. We're committed to providing top-quality care for the whole family. Schedule your appointments today at southernohiosmiles.com. Southern Ohio Smiles, brightening smiles, one patient at a time. Visit us online or call today to book your appointment.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad Niddle and Edward Jones are a proud sponsor of Jackson Ironman Baseball on WYPC. Give us a call at 740-286-4872 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Well, bunch of zeros on the scoreboard as we are at the top of the third inning here at Sparky Howler Field. Beautiful night for baseball. Two of the very best in the Frontier Athletic Conference. Actually, the champion, which is the Jackson Ironmen, taking on the second place team, which is Miami Trace Panthers. Chillicothe and Courthouse both ended up 5-5 in the league. They would have been tied for third, but this was obviously all year long the two top teams within our league. Courthouse, or the Panthers, come into tonight's contest 14-3, and as we know, our Jackson Ironmen 19-1. Gabe Carson, the DH, is up to the plate. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike coming from Tucker Williams. Senior Tucker Williams. 6 seniors were honored Saturday, Pete Wilson, in the pregame before the Athens game. Very special seniors on this roster. There's a ball popped up, and it's going to be over the screen right behind us. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tell you what a terrific senior class. Doesn't matter what happens from now on. They have been so good through their careers, and they have capped off their careers with an outstanding season this year. They were the heart of the team for sure.
What goes back to COVID years was the last time a Jackson baseball team hasn't won at least 20 games in a season, Pete, which is a pretty amazing stretch. Now, we need 1 more win to get there this year. Tonight would be a nice night for that. There's a nice pitch right over the plate. That's a called strike. Tucker gets his second strikeout in the contest.
Jackson, even though they lost for now games Friday and Saturday, Wheelersburg here, Warren here, respectively Friday and Saturday, they still are scheduled to play Greenup County on the road Thursday, and that is another tough foe.
Yes, it is. We watched that one. Here, we got a victory on Greenup earlier in the season, but Greenup County wins over them are never easy. Xavier Lawhorn, the pitcher, up to the plate. There is 1 out. First pitch is a strike. Here comes the next one. He shows bunt, but it'll be a foul. Quickly 0-2. Tucker ahead of the count.
Well, I tell you what, when you're not getting much going against the pitchers, and most of the hitters are putting their bat on the ball, they're just not getting hard hits. You figure maybe a bunt might be in order. I know Coach Rob Smith, the veteran coach of Miami Trace, who has 400-plus career victories, knows how this field works and knows that it is a bunter's paradise.
Trace always very good in baseball. My gosh, everything kind of working for Trace. Their football program headed the right direction. Basketball was the best in the Frontier Athletic Conference last year and should be very good again next year. Baseball always good. Jackson the only team that has bettered them this season. The pitch, a little bit low and outside.
Didn't miss by much, did it?
Nope. Don't have the balls up on, I think it's a 2-2 count. We don't have the scoreboard right there. Is a ball hit up in the air, but it's drifting foul down the right field sideline. Out of play. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Top of the third inning. That fastball hangs just a little bit high. Full count. This is the number 9 hitter in the lineup. That pitch is fouled back, right side, well foul over here on Street.
Well, Lawhorn making Williams work here.
Gage Bowers on deck. They have some gaudy averages on their lineup at the top of their order, Pete, so you sure hate to put 8 or 9 on in front of them. There is a ball hit up in the air, but that one's going to be foul, right side. A PT Cruiser coming down the street, but it doesn't get hit.
Sometimes high school coaches will put their best hitters at the top of the order. It's a 7-inning game, not a 9-inning game, and so chances are maybe the 1 and 2 guys are going to get up more than your 3, 4, 5 guys.
Full count pitch, a curveball, and that's a called strike. Pretty pitch by Tucker Williams.
Definitely fooled him. He was not looking for that pitch. At least that's the way it looked.
Took a lot off of it. Good curveball. Took the speed off, and that did have him on his back foot. 2 outs, nobody on. Gage Bowers, the freshman shortstop, point guard in basketball, outstanding athlete, young athlete here at Miami Trace. That ball is fouled back, out of play.
Well, we knew, I remember when we covered basketball, Dan, we knew Miami Trace was loaded anyway. And we thought, oh, maybe the weak spot might be the freshman point guard. Didn't turn out to be that way, did it?
No. There's a ground ball hit right to Easton. Easton throws across the diamond, and McGraw gets him out. McGraw to Jones, and that's 1-2-3 for Tucker Williams in the top of the third. So score stands after 2.5 innings. Miami Trace 0, Jackson Ironman 0. We'll be back in just 1 minute.
Buying a new home is now an easy process.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special.
Osborne Equipment Service.
One of the best tickets in town will always be activities at our local schools. Athletic events, concerts, and plays. You can always count on an enjoyable time. Our children are the future. Let's give them all the encouragement that we can. Go to a game, hear a concert, see a play. Ohio Valley Bank. Community first. Member FDIC.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Ironman coming up to the plate. Scoreless game so far. Leadoff hitter for the Ironman here in the bottom of the third inning will be senior Easton McGraw. Made a good field on that last out of the inning. Tucker Williams with 3 good innings pitched so far in this contest. 3 strikeouts, 1 hit. See if the Ironman can give him some help here. Easton McGraw, Pete Wilson, we talked about Bodie Wooford improving from one season to the next. How far has this young man come?
Yes, he has.
Not with the glove, he was always there, but his hitting has become such a bigger factor for this team.
Yeah, has a good eye, takes a very smart approach at the plate. He also is a very good bunter.
Quickly, 2 balls, no strikes to Easton.
On the softball side, Dan, a couple of tournament softball games in our local area. Our Telegram sports staff is covering those games live.
Iron Ladies, obviously, with their high seed, a 2 seed, I think it was, Pete, wasn't it? And they get the bye.
That is true. Now, Wellston, who is in a different division, and they've got the number 2 seed. They're playing Fairland tonight over at Wellston. Todd Compson is there. And down at Piketon, Red Thompson Jr. made the trip down the Appalachian Highway to see the Lady Oaks play host Piketon. So we'll be reporting on those games.
Absolutely. That was a strike call. 3-1 the count to senior Easton valedictorian McGraw.
Always exciting when tournament comes.
That's a nice curveball, catches the plate, so it's a full count now. Lawhorn came back with 2 good pitches after down 3-0. Righty versus righty, and it catches the outside edge of the plate, and that's a called strike.
Good bounce back by Lawhorn after falling behind 3-0. That gives him 4 strikeouts.
Jensen Green has the only hit in the game for Jackson. He led off the game with a single to right field. Hard hit single right at the right fielder. He couldn't get to it. Got a stolen base. Got to second. Actually got Noah Ernst all the way to third in the second inning, but still no runs yet for Jackson. See if Jensen can get us going. Junior has had an outstanding baseball season. That first pitch is down low. Left-handed hitter. Been pulling the ball consistently his last couple games. Ryan Simet's on deck. That pitch is low and inside. Making Lawhorn throw some pitches here. He went to the full count in the first batter, but he got him on a called strike. 2 balls, no strikes to Jensen Green. What a spring of broadcasting we've had, Pete Wilson, with our girls softball and the boys baseball. You know, it's one of the funnest things I do is get a broadcast any sporting event for Jackson, but when you get a broadcast 2 teams that are having the success of these 2, it sure does add to it a little bit.
Absolutely, you're having both teams having memorable seasons.
That pitch catches just the inside part of the plate.
Speaking of our girls softball team, they played one of the top teams from the area last night. 1-1 deep into the game. Portsmouth Notre Dame, though, comes away with a 3-1 victory over our Iron Ladies. Small school, but great softball.
That curveball catches the outside of the plate, so it is now a full count situation to Jensen Green. The 3-2 pitch. That's a hard hit ball right between the shortstop and the third baseman. Trickles its way out to left field, and Jensen is on with his second hit of the contest.
And just when you call him a pull hitter, he goes the other way with a nice ground ball, hard hit between the shortstop and third baseman.
Good curveball on the outside part of the plate, and he just did a good job of hitting there, staying with it.
That's what you do with the curveball. Just try to time it and hit it where they ain't, and that's what he did.
Jensen, a very good base runner, had a stolen base in the top of the first inning, or bottom of the first inning. Let's see if he can do it again. Ryan Simet's up at the plate, the shortstop. He flied out in his first time up. Third baseman in on the infield grass. That pitch is a bit outside. Second hit of the contest for the Ironmen, both by junior Jensen Green. Jensen jumps off first base, gets a good lead, but does not run.
Good eye by Simons. A couple pitches just off the outside plate, or the outside edge of the plate. Got him ahead, 2 balls and no strikes.
The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Jackson Iron Ladies softball practice must be over as we see some of our team members down here supporting the Jackson Ironman baseball team. That pitch catches the outside edge of the plate. Strike number 2 to Ryan Simons. 2-2 the count. 1 out, runner on first base. See what Jensen does from first. He is, oh, there's a line drive by Ryan Simons right at the center fielder. Jensen easily gets to second base. Ball hit hard enough he couldn't try to head to third, so we have 2 people on. Ryan Simons gets a single.
Well,
Green goes to second.
Jensen's a good base runner, but he had to look out there to center field and make sure there wasn't going to be some miracle play out there. As it was, as you said, the ball got out there to the center fielder quickly. No chance to really go to third, but for the first time, one team has 2 runners on base in the same inning.
Center fielder Nolan Johnson, another one of those valedictorian seniors, batting third in the lineup. First pitch a little bit low. Making Lawhorn throw a lot of pitches here.
Lawhorn in this inning in particularly falling behind the hitters.
2 on, 1 out. Nolan Johnson at the bat. Good base running on there with Green and Simets. That pitch is outside, curveball, low and outside. Just 1 out.
Lawhorn's got a good fastball, and on location, he seems to like to locate there on the outside part of the plate, which is a common pitching strategy.
The pitch to Nolan, swing and a miss. I think foul tipped, but back in the catcher's glove. 2 balls, 1 strike. Shortstop trying to hold Green on second base, so there's a pretty good gap there between third base and the shortstop. That ball is hit high up in the air. It will be fouled down the right field side. Lands on Huron Street, bounces over into the other yard.
Right, and the mower has to divert a little bit to avoid Jackson losing one of the baseballs that are supposed to continue to be used.
Good Jackson fan on that mower, so he will try not to ruin our baseball supply. 2-2 the count to Nolan Johnson. 2 on. 0-0 baseball game here. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Top 2 teams in the Frontier Athletic Conference. The pitch to Nolan. That pitch is outside. Full count once again. Has every batter gone full count this inning? It feels like it, Pete.
There's been a few of them here in the last inning, and then this one too for Lawhorn. So he's throwing a lot of pitches. We'll see if that means anything here as this game goes on.
The pitch. That ball is hit really high and deep, but pulled left, well foul, probably into the bullpen. Might actually cleared the fence, but well foul. It did. They're chasing it behind the hitting barn where that ball ended up. Full count to Nolan Johnson. Righty versus righty. The pitch. That's a curveball. That's going to stay high. We've got the bases loaded. Nolan with patient hitting there. Fouled off enough pitches till he got 4 balls involved, and now the bases are loaded. Gavin Jones coming up. There is only 1 out. Gavin, who's been an outstanding clutch hitter this year all season long in that number 4 spot. We assume, not knowing total stats, that he's our RBI leader. If not, he'd be awful close to it.
Absolutely.
There's the pitch. That's high. First pitch is a ball. Nowhere to put Gavin Jones now. Lawhorn having a bit of control issues this inning, but he's yet to give up a run.
Only has 1 walk.
That is going to be a called strike. 1-1 the count. He has struck out 4 of the Jackson Ironmen, but we've got him on every base right now. Green on third, Simets on second, Johnson on first. All good runners if Gavin can find a spot out there. The 1-1, and that's a line drive to left center field. That's going to go to the fence, I think. Nope, it's going to, the thick grass stopped it, but 2 runs are going to score. Gavin ends up with a double, 2 more RBIs. Nolan Johnson ends up on third base. Gavin timed that pitch beautifully, Pete Wilson. Hit it very solid out there between the outfielders.
Right, hit it in the right place. Split the outfielders out there. Didn't make it all the way to the wall, but with the good speed on the base pass, no question that Green and Simons were both going to score. And in the bottom of the third, the Ironmen have broken this scoreless deadlock.
Still only one out. Noah Ernst up to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. First base is open. Ernst walked in his one time up. Got all the way around to third base before Lawhorn was able to get the Ironman out. First pitch to Noah, and he turns on it, hits a really high fly ball to left field, very deep. Should be an easy tag. Left fielder will throw it back into third base, and Nolan Johnson coasts in with the 3rd run of the contest for the Ironman here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Gavin Jones will stay at second base, but an RBI for Noah Ernst.
Well, that ball kept going.
It carried. He wasn't too far from getting that up against the big wall there.
Yeah, the left fielder not within reach of the wall, it looked like from here. So Nolan Johnson very patiently waiting to tag and then scored standing up Jackson's 3rd run.
Tucker Williams at the plate, the pitcher. He's got his fellow teammates have given him a little bit of help here with 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He has a runner in scoring position, and there is a ball fouled back over the right field. Dugout. No balls, 1 strike. Gavin Jones standing out on second base after that 2-run double. Outfield grass a little thick. I thought that was going to get to the fence, but it just kind of died out there once it hit the ground.
And we did have a little bit of rain
yes,
today,
we did.
So that may have something to do with the turf out there, or as far as how fast it is.
Swing and a miss by Tucker. 0-2 the count. 2 outs, runner on second. That pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ironmen have erupted with 3 hits in this inning. 2 singles, a double, a walk included. Sacrifice fly by Noah Ernst that results in 3 runs and an opportunity here for Tucker, and he swings and misses. That will be the 3rd out in the inning, but not until Jackson with the 3 hits and a walk. Sacrifice fly, they turn that into 3 runs. So after 3 innings, it is your Jackson Ironmen 3, Miami Trace 0. We'll be right back. Take a listen to our sponsors here on Total Media.
Buying a new home is now an easy process when you work with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services of Southern Ohio. Howard Hanna offers several one-stop shopping options that include mortgage, title, and insurance, along with some awesome buyer and seller exclusive programs such as a 100% money-back guarantee, the Buy Before You Sell program, and the Apartment Dwellers Trade-In program. Call Donna and the McNerlin Group at 740-577-9551 to find out what works for you. Go green and gold and call it sold.
Osborne Equipment Service.
Is Ralph there?
You sure you've got the right number?
Is he there?
Well, what's he look like?
He's got white hair and spots.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
Why would he be here at Osborne Equipment Service?
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs, and we're family owned and operated. Maybe you should look in your backyard for Ralph.
I'll just call his cell phone.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Three innings of work in here at Sparky Howler Field, and the Ironmen have finally taken the lead in the bottom of the 3rd. They come up with 3 runs. They have the lead now at 3-0. Tucker Williams, 3 innings pitched. He's pitched very, very well. 1 hit, has struck out 3. He will be facing Bodie McBee, the number 2 hitter, and as we mentioned earlier, this young man is batting .383 for the season. He has the only hit so far for the Panthers.
All right, as we look ahead to tournament play, Ironmen, by virtue of that first seed, will not play until May the 27th. That is the day after Memorial Day. It will be over at the High University Field, and it will be against the winner of the Chillicothe Warren local game.
That ball is fouled back by McBee. Out of play.
Miami Trace, by the way, also in Division III. They are in a different bracket, and they are the number 2 seed. That's how highly thought of they are by the district coaches.
Another foul back, so Tucker quickly ahead of the count on McBee. Like I said, has the only hit so far for the Miami Trace Panthers. You know, the other night, Pete, that game the Ironmen won 5-1. It was 1-0 in the 5th inning. It was a dogfight. The Ironmen got runs late to get a comfortable win. This one was kind of looking the same way, but Jackson did finally hit Lawhorn a little bit there in the 3rd inning and get the 3 runs to have the lead.
Tucker's had a very workmanlike game before. 3 strikeouts.
There's a swing and a miss. Make that 4 strikeouts as he gets McBee.
That is 3 strikeouts of the last 4 batters. I remember, I know it's not a really large sample in a high school season, but it seems like every time we've seen Tucker, he gets better as the game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time. Every single time. I mean, he wasn't in trouble in the 1st inning, but he did give up the only hit so far that he's given up was in the 1st inning. Got out of that. Austin Brown, the catcher, up. He's another one of their good hitters, has a .333 average coming into tonight's contest.
Dropped a beauty curve in there, didn't he, for strike 1?
Yes. I think he has about the 3rd most hits on the team for this team. They're led by the freshman Gage Bowers, who we talked about with a .328 average, but has 20 hits. That leads the team. 20 runs scored. That leads the team. Not a bad first year for a freshman.
You know, we talk about Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Mr. Brown, the catcher, I wonder if there's any coincidence that he's wearing number 5. For you young folks
Johnny
out
Bench
there,
fans?
Johnny Bench, considered by some to be the greatest catcher of all time.
That ball is fouled back. Actually still in the batter's box, but it was foul tipped. How lucky were we, Pete Wilson, to have Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan on the same team through the 70s. No reason why we wouldn't have been Reds fans in that era.
This run in 75 and 76, something to behold.
That ball, ooh, just outside. That was close, 2-2. 76 teams still considered by some, probably some Yankee teams maybe rated a little higher, as one of the very, very best baseball teams of all time.
Not a single postseason loss.
That ball is outside, full count for Tucker. Second batter up here, Austin Brown, the catcher. And they did beat the Yankees that year, 4-0 in the World Series, to get that tab as either first, second, or third best team maybe in history. There is a ball hit to center field. Nolan Johnson looks like he's going to camp underneath it and makes the catch.
Well,
didn't have to move too far to get to that one.
Right, a little bit of sun peeking out now here, so
yep.
Can't just assume that every fly ball is going to be an easy play.
Cooper Enix up. He is one of those hitters also, 355. They're 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this lineup. Actually, 1 through 4, all well over 300 hitters for the season. There's a curve ball. It's called strike. Cooper flied out in the 1st inning. All-round athlete here for Miami Trace. Pitch just a touch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker's got 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Game moving quickly. Do they all know that the Cavs are playing tonight? Maybe that's the reason.
Well, whatever it is.
There's a ground ball to Ryan Simets. Picks it up cleanly. The throw across to Gavin Jones. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So Tucker has gone 4 strong innings for the Ironmen. After 3.5 innings, it is Jackson 3, Miami Trace 0. Stay tuned and watch all these commercials. They are the ones that help us bring these games to you fans. We'll be back.
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over at Low Rock Bottom Presses, one of America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built to manufactured homes in southern Ohio, with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, teddy bear.
Hurry down to Cellhouse Rock.
Life is unpredictable, but with Dan Daly at State Farm, you can be prepared for anything. Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, Dan and his team are here to provide personalized coverage that fits your needs. Get the protection you deserve from a name you trust. Dan Daly State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Visit online or stop by in Jackson, Ohio. You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad Niddle and Edward Jones are a proud sponsor of Jackson Ironman Baseball on WYPC. Give us a call at 740-286-4872 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Howler field for the 5th inning, and Dan Morrow, we want to thank our sponsors who've supported us all year and keeps us on the air.
Howard Hanna, the McNerlin Network, Chad Niddle, Edward Jones, Ohio Valley Bank, Brian Moore Construction, Dan Daly, State Farm Insurance, Monroe Collision, Osborne Equipment, Ramey Homes and Automotive Group, Vinton County National Banking Center, JCHD Search, Ohio Valley Bank, Top Tier Customs, Stock Room, Parks Edge, and the Telegram. Great.
Right.
They've just been outstanding all year. Been quite a venture to not only do Jackson baseball, but to get the softball team involved here a little bit with our broadcast.
Right, and here in the 5th inning, Jamison Hart, the first hitter, hits a deep fly to center field. Center fielder back, and Nolan Johnson spears it as he was running in and able to get that for the first out on the first pitch against Jamison Hart. Williams now gone 4 1/3 innings, only given up 1 hit, has 4 strikeouts. Believe he has not given up any walks, so pitching a gem so far. Has a 3-0 lead.
As good as Gavin Jones has been, well known around the area, I think it's neat when Coach McGraw says he's got pitcher 1A and 1B. They're both number ones.
First pitch to Stuckey is outside for ball 1. Speaking of the softball team, the Jackson Iron Ladies got a 2nd seed. They are in Division III, and their first game will be, they basically skips the sectional the way it's drawn up. They will play on the road against on next Wednesday, May the 21st. It'll be at Logan High School, folks, and they will play the winner of the game between Warren Local and Waverly.
And we will be there.
We will.
Hopefully you people listening can be too, but if not, we will bring it to you.
Count to Stuckey is 2 balls and no strikes. Righty against lefty. Pitch is right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. 2 against 2. Stuckey wears number 2 on his back. Tucker wears number 2 on his back.
Stuckey hits it from the left side.
And that was ball 4, apparently. Lost count there, and so did the scoreboard keeper.
Well, and here's the thing. The one thing about Stuckey, he is their leading base runner as far as steals, leads the team with 13 steals this year.
Okay, well, let's see what Coach Rob Smith wants to do with him down 3.
You know,
I'm sure he's aware of what Noah Ernst has as far as an arm behind the plate.
Yep.
Gets a good lead over there, jockeying around. And he fakes like to go, but does not. And the pitch is called strike to Evan Colgrove, who popped up to the second baseman.
More Stuckey stats, Pete, as a pitcher. We talked about his Gotti 7-1 record. The only loss would be to our Ironman. He pitched 52 innings so far this year, has struck out 97 batters. How about that number?
Oh, boy, that's a great strikeout to innings ratio.
Yes. Ooh, there's another. Oh, nope. Coach McGraw didn't field that one cleanly. Don't want to give him an error, though. It was a hard hit.
Okay, well, the runner wasn't going, so there'll be no error charged. The count is 2 strikes to Colgrove, so Williams jumps ahead. Stuckey moving around a good bit over there at first base, trying to get the attention and maybe distract Tucker Williams. Tucker looks that way. 0-2 pitch. Nice pitch. Took something off of it and had Colgrove out in front, so he takes care of the third baseman on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 5, I believe, for Tucker Williams, and there are 2 outs. Gabe Carson, the designated hitter, comes up. He was a strikeout victim looking in the 3rd inning. Stuckey running, and Ernst is not going to even throw.
Stuckey had a good lead, and actually the fielders weren't there at second base to catch the throw. He had it stolen anyway. You don't want to make an error there and make matters worse.
Pitch was called a ball. Ernst came up ready to throw, decided not to. Pitch is down low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, with 2 outs in the inning, the main focus is get this batter out.
Did Stuckey play basketball?
Not. He played football.
Football, okay. I believe he was wide receiver.
Wide receiver,
Stuckey
and a
was,
good one.
Stuckey was going for a steal, a third there, which was interesting. Down 3 with two outs. What's the old saw? You never want to make the 3rd out at third base.
Well, and also you're going against probably the catcher with the best arm in Southeastern District of Ohio.
Count is
you
1-2.
better get a good jump.
Oh, just off the outside corner. Did not miss a called strikeout by much there at all. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Stuckey at second after a walk and then a subsequent steal. Williams looks back that way. Stuckey's going to go again.
They got him picked off.
I think they do. And they tag him. Nice play. Good play there.
Good job by Easton McGraw.
Yeah, Easton McGraw just made him commit, and he knew he wasn't going to get the third base. And
Peaches said you don't want to make the out at third base, but he made it closer to second. But a great job there by McGraw to chase him down in the pickle move there.
Right, and nice move by Tucker Williams to catch him stealing before he delivered the ball. That set the rundown up by Easton McGraw. So in the 5th inning for Miami Trace, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base after the caught stealing. In the middle of the 5th, it's the Jackson Ironmen 3, the Miami Trace Panthers 0. Jackson Ironmen baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
Buying a new home is now an easy process when you work with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services of Southern Ohio. Howard Hanna offers several one-stop shopping options that include mortgage, title, and insurance, along with some awesome buyer and seller exclusive programs such as a 100% money-back guarantee, the Buy Before You Sell program, and the Apartment Dwellers Trade-In program. Call Donna and the McNerlin Group at 740-577-9551 to find out what works for you. Go green and gold and call it sold.
Osborne Equipment Service.
Is Ralph there?
You sure you've got the right number?
Is he there?
Well, what's he look like?
He's got white hair and spots.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
Why would he be here at Osborne Equipment Service?
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs, and we're family owned and operated. Maybe you should look in your backyard for Ralph.
I'll just call his cell phone.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Okay, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Dan, that's significant because we are now an official game. If the rains would come down on us,
It sure doesn't look like they're anywhere near right now.
No, I think it's academic because we're doing pretty good right now. The phone says, phone isn't always right, says there's still like a 35% chance of rain by 7, and we're moving up on that hour.
I'll take those odds.
I think I would too right now, just looking at the sky. Pitch was inside to Ryan Simons here in the bottom of the 5th. And
Ouch.
That hit him right in the back.
Ryan had the big hit in the 3-run inning to get that inning going. So he's on for the second time as he had the hit, ended up scoring one of the 3 runs. Now he's on first base, leadoff hitter.
Nolan Johnson struck out and worked Lawhorn for a very important walk in the middle of that 3-run rally. He later did come around to score. So Simons is on for the second time, this time by a hit by pitch. Johnson squares the bunt. It's down towards the first base side, and it goes foul. That probably took everybody by surprise, including me.
And if that stays fair, he's going to run right by the first baseman fielding that one. That possibly would have been an easy bunt single for him.
I'm sure that's what he was thinking. He wasn't thinking about
Sure.
the sacrifice. If that's what it was, so be it. But I think he was bunting for a hit. I think that's how Coach Josh McGraw looks at every bunt almost. Simons at first. Count to Johnson after the foul bunt is 0-1. Swing and a miss, a mighty cut. No contact, strike 2. Lawhorn ahead of Johnson, 0-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Tough pitch to take.
Yeah,
but it was 0-2. Doesn't get the benefit of the benefit of the doubt on the pitch. It was borderline, but nice pitch by Lawhorn nonetheless. Gavin Jones is up. Probably had the biggest hit we've had so far, Dan. He broke the 0-0 deadlock open with a 2-run double in the bottom of the 3rd.
Really well hit ball. A shot between the center fielder and the left fielder. Drives in 2 runs.
Pitch is on the outside edge for strike 1.
Noah Ernst's sacrifice fly brought in the 3rd one.
Simons getting the lead at first. He's running. Throw down there by Brown is not going to be in time.
And nobody actually got to second base to catch the throw by the catcher, so Ryan gets an easy stolen base there.
Well, that's the first attempt that Jackson had tried running, which they often do. And I think Simons caught Lawhorn not paying attention very much. He has not thrown over there at all and didn't really look that way either, and Simons took advantage. All he needed was a low throw, and he's in there easy. Count to Gavin Jones. That must have been called strike 2. Just off the outside corner, so close. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Gavin's been so good this year with runners in scoring position. That stolen base got him a man on second base now.
Long look by Lawhorn, looking back at the runner, Simons. Pitching, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Nice pitch there by Lawhorn to ring up one of Jackson's best hitters in Gavin Jones. Lawhorn's strung together some strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe, maybe 8. 7 strikeouts, I think, I see. Here is Noah Ernst, the catcher. Armin still have a chance here as a runner is out there at second base. 8 strikeouts, I counted them again for Mr. Lawhorn. He could use another one here. Ernst on with a walk and the sacrifice fly. He hit it deep to left field. First pitch is high for ball 1. Ironman leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th in their bid to finish the Frontier Athletic Conference perfect. That would be a 10-0 record, and that would get a gold ball in the trophy case for the 2nd year in a row. Called strike 1 to Ernst, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That would be a nice accomplishment. Remember, girls basketball did that just a couple years ago with back-to-back gold ball seasons.
So hard, I mean, to run through a season like that, 10
in this league,
and, you know,
regardless of the sport.
You know, you're playing as many away as you are at home. Teams are after you when you're at the top on top of that. Hard to be at your best every game.
Well, that one's going to be a tough one. Good play by the shortstop.
That's freshman over there. Throws out Ernst to get out of the inning with no more damage, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. After 4.5 innings of play, or after 5 innings of play, it's the Jackson Armin 3, the Miami Trace Panthers 0. You are watching and listening to Jackson Ironman Baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
What song?
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over our low rock bottom presses. One of America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built to manufactured homes in southern Ohio with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, Teddy Bear.
Hurry down to Stillhouse Rock.
Life is unpredictable, but with Dan Daly at State Farm, you can be prepared for anything. Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, Dan and his team are here to provide personalized coverage that fits your needs. Get the protection you deserve from a name you trust. Dan Daly State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Visit online or stop by in Jackson, Ohio. You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
We're back. We're already to the top half of the 6th inning. This game rolling along. The only inning where any team scored, the Ironmen scored 3 in the 3rd inning, and it has held up because Tucker Williams has just been outstanding out there on the mound. He has only given Miami Trace 1 hit. He has, he has 5 strikeouts and has been very much in command.
Boy, if you're Miami Trace, Pete Wilson, in the 2 games so far we've played him, we struck out 14 times in a 5-1 victory last week. We've struck out 8 times in a 3-0 game through 5 innings. And they've probably felt they've played pretty well, but they still find themselves down to this Jackson baseball team.
5 strikeouts, only 1 walk by Tucker Williams. He hasn't hit any batter. Ironmen have played flawless defense, no errors. You know, when you have 5 strikeouts, you're going to have some balls you got to field, and the Ironmen have done that, whether it's been in the outfield or the infield.
It's a pretty solid baseball team. They field the ball well, they pitch the ball well, and when we hit, we're awfully good.
High chopper to Easton McGraw. All he has to do is wait for it to come down and accurately throws across the diamond. 1 pitch, 1 out. And here is Xavier Lawhorn, the pitcher. He has pitched a pretty good game, just not nearly as good as Tucker Williams. He took a called 3rd strike back in the 3rd inning when Tucker went on a little strikeout roll, striking out 3 out of 4 batters.
He's only actually given up 4 hits in the contest.
That's the 2nd pitch, and it's popped up deep into the outfield. Bodie Wolford is under it and takes it. Boy, that ball kept
carrying
out there. Didn't look like it was hit that hard, and it was hit high, and Bodie had to keep drifting back, but stayed with it and made the out. And what's the odds that Gage Bowers is going to take this pitch with 2 pitches and 2 outs? Gage has struck out and grounded out the 3rd.
As a freshman, he might be just up there ready to hit the ball, though. Remember, as we mentioned, we've bragged about this young man. Bats over .328 for the season. Leads him in hits, leads him in runs scored. He's made a couple good fielding plays, and he's only a freshman.
First pitch was down low and inside to Gage, so we won't have a 3-pitch inning. That's right down the heart of the plate, though. Strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Our girls, Dan, will be playing next Wednesday in the tournament. We'll talk about the tournament now. That will be over at Logan High School at 2 p.m. And there is a ground ball single. Simons does able to stop it and then throws all the way over to first base and past Gavin Jones. And so we are going to say that Gage Bowers has an infield single. He will go to second on the off-balance throw by Simons, trying to make a great play to get him over at first. I don't think he had a chance, but Simons gave it the old college try.
He certainly did, and that was deep in the hole there. So that was a nearly impossible play. He did a good job just getting his glove on the ball.
Right. I didn't think he was going to get there, and I know that he has ability. So Bowers is on at second base on the infield hit and the error combined, and Brody McBee is up.
There's a quick 2 outs, but boy, we are approaching the top 4 hitters in this lineup. All outstanding hitters here. Big batter now for Tucker to try to keep this shutout intact.
Nice pitch on the outside corner, but a little bit outside. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Brody McBee has the other base hit Miami Trace now has 2, but he has also swung and missed for a strikeout in the 4th. And that pitch is hit high in the air. Is it going to stay in play? No, it's not. It's going to be into a neighbor's yard over here, over the bleachers on the home side for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's a line drive into right field. And that gets by Seymour. That's going to allow a run to score. Around to score is Gage Bowers and into second. And he's going to try to get to third. And it's bobbled out there by the second baseman. And so all the way to third base goes Brody McBee. He gets an RBI. The ball got by Seymour out there, so that's going to be an error. That allows McBee to get all the way to third base there. Ball was also bobbled in the outfield, but McBee might have got to third anyway, so we will say just 1 error on the play. But he does get an RBI, and then suddenly it's 3-1.
And a runner in scoring position. There are 2 outs. That was a well-hit ball, and Seymour tried to make the outstanding catch, almost got to it, but then the ball gets over his glove, and that allowed runners to keep running.
Curveball stays high just a little bit for ball 1. Austin Brown, if you want to know what he's done, he grounded into a fielder's choice and hit a deep fly to center field. He's 0 for 2. So he has put the bat on the ball twice. And he fouls the pitch out of play for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
There are 2 outs, but a runner on third base in a 3-1 baseball game. A big moment here.
Tucker got 2 outs on 2 pitches to start the inning. Nice pitch on the outside corner, but a little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. That pitch is hit high in the air. Center fielder Nolan Johnson coming over. Right fielder is there too, but if Nolan Johnson calls him off, and a big third out of the inning after Miami Trace dented the scoreboard for the first time. In the inning for Miami Trace, there was 1 run, there was 2 base hits, there was 2 Jackson errors in there. 1 runner left at third, thank God. In the middle of the 6th inning, it's the Jackson Ironman 3, the Miami Trace Panthers 1. This is Jackson Ironman Baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
A healthy, confident smile starts here at Southern Ohio Smiles. Whether you need a routine cleaning, cosmetic dentistry, or advanced dental care, our expert team is here to make your experience comfortable and stress-free. We're committed to providing top-quality care for the whole family. Schedule your appointments today at southernohiosmiles.com. Southern Ohio Smiles, brightening smiles, 1 patient at a time. Visit us online or call today to book your appointment.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad Niddle and Edward Jones are a proud sponsor of Jackson Ironman Baseball on WYPC. Give us a call at 740-286-4872 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The game has tightened a little bit as Miami Trace scores their first run in the top of this inning. That makes it a 3-1 ball game. Ironman would certainly like to get an insurance run or 2 here. It'll be Tucker Williams, Bodie Wolford, and Ashton Seymour trying to do that against Xavier Lawhorn, who has went the distance for Miami Trace.
Let's give Lawhorn credit. He's thrown a lot of pitches tonight, but he's at least kept Trace in the contest at a 3. They're only down 3-1. Ironman would like to tack on, at least get that 1 run back.
Tucker has struck out twice, swinging once, and taking once. So he is due. Love to help himself here by getting on base and taking it from there. Pitch is low and away for ball 1. Ironman once again off tomorrow, but Thursday cross the river down by Portsmouth to play Greenup County, Kentucky. Okay, the one out there on a ground ball looked like it had possibilities there, but the shortstop made a nice play on it. That, of course, was Gage Bowers out there, threw Williams out by a step. So 1 up, 1 down, and here's Bodie Wooford. He reached on an error and grounded out 0 for 2.
Pete, I am going to add in here, Waylon Massey, our athletic director right behind us, did verify the Ironman picked up a game tomorrow night at South Webster.
All right.
So we have South Webster tomorrow night, at Greenup on Thursday, and I know we're still hunting to pick up games because of that gap before we will be playing a tournament game. So
right. Well,
we'll keep making those additions as the season, as the next few days go on.
Right. Josh McGraw, a big proponent of playing as many games as possible. He feels it's definitely beneficial for the hitters as they go deeper into the season and get more at bats. Pitch to Bodie, nice pitch on the outside edge for strike 1. So Lawhorn has retired the first batter to face him as he tries to deliver his team to the 7th inning down by just 2 runs, 3-1 Jackson. That pitch is outside, ball 1 and 1 strike.
Like to see the Airmen try to pick up a game or two back here at Sparky Howler Field, as we so enjoy bringing these broadcasts to the folks.
1-1 pitch. That is a deep fly to right field. Right fielder, though, has it in his sights and catches it fairly easy. Good hit by Wolford, but right at the right fielder for the second out. Ashton Seymour is struck out twice. No, it's not going to be.
It's going to be Eli Ray coming up.
Eli Ray's going to get a chance. Another one of the Ironman's very valuable men off the bench. He can do a lot of things. He runs well. He is a good pitcher, secondary line pitcher. He has started some games. He's come in relief, and he can hit. We know, of course, he can run. Ball is hit in the air to the right fielder. Looks like he's going to get another chance, and he's got it. A quick, easy inning there for Lawhorn. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 6 innings in the books. It's the Jackson Ironman 3, the Miami Trace Panthers 1. This is Jackson Ironman Baseball on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
Buying a new home is now an easy process when you work with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services of Southern Ohio. Howard Hanna offers several one-stop shopping options that include mortgage, title, and insurance, along with some awesome buyer and seller exclusive programs such as a 100% money-back guarantee, the Buy Before You Sell program, and the Apartment Dwellers Trade-In program. Call Donna and the McNerlin Group at 740-577-9551 to find out what works for you. Go green and gold and call it sold.
Osborne Equipment Service.
Is Ralph there?
You sure you've got the right number?
Is he there?
Well, what's he look like?
He's got white hair and spots.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
Why would he be here at Osborne Equipment Service?
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs, and we're family owned and operated. Maybe you should look in your backyard for Ralph.
I'll just call his cell phone.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Good baseball game here at Sparky Howler Field today, and it is your Jackson Ironmen, the top team in the Frontier Athletic Conference 3. The second team in the Frontier Athletic Conference, the Miami Trace Panthers 1. Tucker Williams trying to go for a complete game victory here. Has pitched very well, has given up 3 hits. As Pete said, he has struck out 4 or 5 batters in tonight's contest. Had a shutout going till the top of the 6th inning when the couple singles and an error got a run in for the Panthers, but Tucker pitched his way out of it, got the number 3 hitter in their lineup out. Now the number 4 hitter, Cooper Enix, will be at the plate. He has flied out and grounded out to lead off the Panthers, and there's a nice curveball right over the plate. First pitch strike for Tucker. Ironman with a 3-1 lead. Second pitch a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tucker's been right around that plate the whole game.
1 walk. 3 singles. That's a curveball for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sky getting a little darker, Pete, but not coming from the typical direction of weather. There is a curveball, and that's going to be a called strikeout.
Well, Cooper Enoch, the cleanup hitter, was just hoping for a fastball and did not get one.
Jameson Heyer coming up, the center fielder. He's been an outstanding hitter this year, batting .375 for the season. Leads the team with 5 doubles. There has been no extra base hits for Miami Trace tonight.
Hit the ball to the outfield both times, Dan. Once to right, once to center.
First pitch a ball to him. Top 5 hitters all hit over 300. And obviously there's a reason why this team's 14-3 on the season. There's a ground ball. Easton McGraw with a great play. Gets the throw over to Gavin Jones, and there are 2 outs. We are 1 out away. Boy, that shows you the kind of glove our third baseman has there. Pick that high bouncer up right on the line.
And Jones had to deal with the runner bearing down on him, and I don't know whether he would have been out or not, but Jones did tag him just to make sure.
Nice play by the senior third baseman. Maybe one of the top players in the league, Gage Stuckey at the plate. He walked in 1 attempt and has flied out. Does have a stolen base in the contest.
Please ask, that has to be a strike. Oh my, I thought he swung for sure.
Yeah, held back a little bit, so they're going to call it a ball. That pitch is going to be a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're 2 strikes away from picking up victory number 20 on the season and winning our 22nd straight Frontier Athletic Conference game within the league. And it would be a 2nd gold ball for this Jackson baseball program. The 1-1. Curveball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Gage Stuckey, I'm sure, will play baseball on the next level somewhere, don't know where. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Well, Stuckey would like to get on base. Then everything is on the table as far as a comeback for Miami Trace.
There is a fly ball. It will drift foul. Looks like it'll land in the bullpen for the Ironmen down the left field line.
Where there is nobody warming up.
Nope. This is Tucker Williams' game to win. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on. 3-1 the Ironmen lead.
Williams trying to put Stuckey away right here.
The pitch, oh, it's a swing and an out, and this one belongs to the Jackson Ironmen, and an outstanding effort by Tucker Williams, a complete game victory, and the Ironmen pick up their 20th win on the season, but probably more importantly, Pete Wilson, for the 2nd year in a row, the Jackson Ironmen go 10-0 within the Frontier Athletic Conference.
Yes, they do, and a good victory for the Ironmen against, one of their top rivals in the FAC. And as you said, the gold ball, the 10-0 record, the 20th win, all that means something. And coming off, the loss against Athens, you want to get right back on track. And it's a big victory. Even though the Ironmen already had the championship in the bag, they didn't want to lose this one, and they did not.
Teams just finished shaking hands at home plate. The Ironmen will do their traditional jog out to left field. They will be addressed by head coach McGraw, and then we hopefully will have Coach McGraw here in the postgame. Pete Wilson always with outstanding postgame interviews to Coach McGraw. He's a great postgame interview, isn't he?
Oh, he
does a nice job.
Now, he doesn't have a lot of experience coming after a loss, but he will come after a loss. And yes, he's always ready, to talk about the win, talk about the program, and put the spotlight on his players always.
It is your Jackson Ironmen 3, Miami Trace Panthers 1. Ironmen advanced to 20-1 on this historic baseball season, and they pick up the 22nd straight win within the Frontier Athletic Conference. Pretty exciting things taking place down here at Sparky Howler Field. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the Stockroom 601 postgame show in just a couple minutes.
Are you looking for a reliable title company? Warranty Title Agency is a place you can trust. Whether you're closing on your first home or deed preparation, title exams, and more, Warranty Title Agency has got you covered. Stop by 227 East Main Street, Jackson, or call 740-286-2248. Also online at warrantytitleagency.com. Proudly supporting Jackson and Oak Hill football. Warranty Title Agency, where your trust meets our dedication. Go Ironman and Oaks!
Osborne Equipment Service.
Is Ralph there?
You sure you've got the right number?
Is he there?
Well, what's he look like?
He's got white hair and spots.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
Why would he be here at Osborne Equipment Service?
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs, and we're family owned and operated. Maybe you should look in your backyard for Ralph.
I'll just call his cell phone.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
Brian Moore Construction specializes in turnkey construction, room additions, kitchen and bathroom remodels, as well as residential and commercial roofing. They also do silicone and acrylic roof coverings. Brian Moore Construction delivers quality craftsmanship on time, on budget, and according to specifications. Choose Brian Moore Construction for your next build, remodel, or roofing project. Call today for a free estimate. 740-418-6140.
Life is unpredictable, but with Dan Daly at State Farm, you can be prepared for anything. Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, Dan and his team are here to provide personalized coverage that fits your needs. Get the protection you deserve from a name you trust. Dan Daly State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Visit online or stop by in Jackson, Ohio.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over our low rock bottom presses. One of America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built to manufactured homes in southern Ohio with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, teddy bear.
Hurry down to Stillhouse Rock.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
Home. It's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Jackson County Banking Center wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. Jackson County Banking Center, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You've been watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.
Haller Field, where the Ironmen have just defeated the Miami Trace Panthers by a score of 3-1, and it's significant for a number of reasons. It's win number 20 of the season, 20-1 for the Ironmen. It gets the Ironmen the so-called gold coveted ball, 10-0. Signifying a perfect run through the Frontier Athletic Conference, and gets the Ironmen back on the winning track as they head towards the tournament season. We're joined now by Coach Josh McGraw, and we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, you already had the championship sewed up, but I know it doesn't matter. You still want to beat this team.
Exactly. Miami Trace is a great ball club, league rival. Well coached. You know what you're going to get every time, and our kids love playing these games. They love playing Miami Trace because you got to show up. If not, you're going to lose. And they did today. It starts with Tucker on the mound. But, we know the gold ball. We won it last year, and that doesn't mean anything. You want to win it again. Not only going for that perfect 10-0, FAC record. Also, forgot what I was going to say. 20 wins. Getting that big, 20 wins on the season. That's the 5th year in a row. Another school record.
That's something. Let
it
me
is.
say that.
100 and some wins in 5 years. It's very impressive. It says a lot about these young men, their parents, they put in work at a young age, and let me have them all high school season. It's a very special time right now.
Right, absolutely. And you talk about the gold ball. Anytime that you can go through a conference undefeated, you got some very good teams in that conference. For instance, we have great respect for Miami Trace and Coach Rob Smith. They lost 4 games, so you know how hard that is. And so it's a great achievement. You'll remember that for a long time. But the 2 games against Miami Trace, 5-1 last Friday, 3-1 here. And I tell you what, when you can throw Gavin Jones and Tucker Williams, you give up just one run each game, and I believe both of them were unearned runs.
They were.
But I tell you what, you really have to feel good about your pitching rotation.
Yeah, our 1 and 2 are as good as anyone. We've been riding them for years. It's special seeing them on the mound their senior year. They've got a lot of starts this year, and they haven't let us down. They're leaders on the mound. They're not real vocal. They're just kind of – well, and that's kind of most of these young men. They just go out and do their job, no matter where it's at. And they do their job on the mound. It's been very special Friday and today, watching them work and getting their last 2 league wins of their senior of their high school career before we move on to other games. But and we needed them. We're playing a team. Last Friday Miami Trace was like 14, 15, 1 or 2, something like that. You have to have good pitching. The pitchers have to show up, throw strikes, give us a chance to make plays, different things like that, and we did. And Gavin was dominant, and Tucker was absolutely. He might have been the best Tucker I've ever seen tonight. Just how efficient he worked. He worked fast, fastball, curveball, changeup with strikes. I mean, they only had a couple hits, right?
One run, 3 hits.
3 hits.
And the run was unearned. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Yeah, a couple mistakes in a row. I felt like, we probably shouldn't have thrown the ball right there, then threw it away. Then the next one, we got a guy on second base. We just got to hold that, keep a guy on first right there. But we have a young guys playing in some spots as well. And that's a learning experience we'll get to talk about tomorrow. And you almost have to make a mistake in order to fix it and different things like that. So, but it didn't hurt us too bad. We got through it, and Tucker finished up the next inning.
Well, I want to ask you about Tucker because you've called 1A and 1B, Gavin Jones and Tucker Williams. They're both so good. What makes Tucker Williams a successful high school pitcher from your standpoint?
Throwing multiple pitches for strikes. That's the key. But also, I mean, if people saw these young kids, if you would see how hard these kids work. We've been in a barn and pitching and hitting since October. As soon as football season's over, those guys are working. We don't try to get in shape for May. They're in shape for March. And because of that, we can leave them out there a little longer. But if you'd watch them get in trouble on the mound, give up a hit or two, or we have an error or two behind him, just like Tucker. He had 2 errors right behind him. It didn't bother him. He still just did his job. Him and Gavin are leaders in that way. He's not going to, pout or, put his head down, things like that. They've learned to handle failure because baseball, there's a lot of it. You're going to strike out. You're going to walk guys. You're going to make errors. That's not what the game's about. The game's about what are you going to do on the next pitch. And that's where Tucker and Gavin are so good, is just not letting things bother them, doing their job, and doing it well.
Right, and I don't know whether Xavier Longhorn is considered the number 2 for Miami Trace, but he was overshadowed by Tucker Williams, but he pitched one heck of a game.
I thought he did, yeah.
Only had, at the end of the day, 4 hits. You had 3 of them, though, in the same inning, and therefore you score 3 runs.
Yeah, we didn't have the best day at the plate today. We needed Tucker to be dominant. He was. So, we rode him. But, yeah, Miami Trace, I think their number 2's hurt. That's their number 3. But, yeah, they're very similar to us. They have, 2, 3 good pitchers. Well, we got more than that. But, 2 or 3 ones, different things like that. I think we got 7 or 8 in the dugout, kids that can go out. Last year in this game, our 1 and 2 wasn't available. Eli Ray beat Miami Trace, coming out of that, 4 or 5 pitcher spot. We're going to lean on him the rest of the year on the mound. Him and, guys like Ryan Simons and I almost called him Ramey, Rylan Wyatt. We're going to need them, as we probably, shut Gavin and Tucker down a little bit, get them some rest, and kind of lean on the other guys, and that's what's going to make the next couple weeks special. I want to see how those guys play.
Right, and Gavin Jones, we talk about his pitching, but he has been such a reliable RBI guy. And he had the big hit of the game.
He did.
A 2-run double that broke up a 0-0 game.
I feel like he's had 10 of those this year, where you need that big run, that big RBI. And luckily he comes up in a situation like that, because we had a lot of fails today, especially in the middle of the lineup, where had a big strikeout or a miss a bunt, things like that. And it's just one of those days where offensively we didn't play well. So we had to lean on that. But, Gavin right there, he's clutch. Again, you're talking about a guy, whether he's on the mound or in the batter's box, nothing bothers him. He's just out there and doing your job. He loves the game. You won't see much emotion. That's what, it's almost become a kind of a sarcasm or a joke or something. Gavin, doesn't show any emotion at all, but it doesn't mean he doesn't care.
No,
he loves the game as much as anyone. He loves the game as much as me. I love to watch him play. I've been coaching him since he was 8 years old. Now he's 18. He's just a great young man and a great baseball player.
Right, and secondarily, Jensen Green wasn't your leadoff hitter to start the season, but it looks like he's comfortable in that role. 2 hits, he got it started in that 3rd inning.
He did. He and great at bats. Not only his hits, and I think even when he had made an out or 2 today, the pitches he was seeing, swinging at strikes, he's been key for us. Jensen's a spark plug. He's got a high energy kid, and you're talking about a kid that I can put in left field, center field, second base, shortstop, or catcher, and you don't go down. A lot of times those guys, you replace the left fielder, and it's going to go down a lot. The quality of play. No, Jensen, wherever you put him, he might be the best player at that position in a lot of spots. And I've never coached a player like that. It's almost unheard of. But he's the key. He's what makes this team work by his ability to play everywhere. I think he's played all 9 positions this year, and we needed him. We need him at the leadoff spot, on the mound, different things like that. And I love that kid. I love to watch him play baseball because how much he loves it. He loves to compete.
You can tell out there.
Yep, he loves to compete.
You don't play to the tournament until May the 27th, so you still got some regular season games to play. What's the rest of the week look like for you, Coach?
Well, we had a lot of cancellations. Unfortunately, we had 3 teams cancel on us for Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Williamsburg, Warren, and Circleville canceled the games. So I'm on the horn, trying to find games. We actually found a game. We're going to South Webster tomorrow. They won the SOC, beat Williamsburg a couple times. They're a smaller school, but hats off to them. Hats off to them for playing. He knew we needed a game, and he's going to help us out. They went and played Greenup tonight, and they'll play us tomorrow. They're a great program. They're well coached. I really like their head coach. He does a fabulous job. I think they won the SOC for the first time since the 1980s. So that's huge on them. They're having a great season. They've only got 4 losses, and we're going to go down there and try to pull out a win, playing a good team, and see where we're at, and then still get on. I don't know about next week. Right now, we only have a game Thursday, but we have 3 more games that I got to try to find. It's just tough. It's really tough when you're 20-1 to find somebody to play. that gets a little tougher. Will teams play you, things like that. So that's kind of what we're dealing with.
I don't know whether Tucker Williams knew it was going to rain before 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I tell you, he got it done before the rain came. It's raining pretty hard right now. So
we got out of here in time.
Coach, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the 20th win of the season. Congratulations on the gold ball. And we're going to be back here sometime. I'm not exactly sure when. And in the meantime, good luck with those games on the road.
I'll keep you updated. Thanks, Pete.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Coach Josh McGraw there talking about the Jackson Ironmen's 3-1 victory over Miami Trace. And Dan, people thought maybe we were alarmists, and we kept talking about maybe rain coming in before this was over. But by golly, the rain is here, but it didn't matter.
It is raining cats and dogs right now, Pete, but we got the game in. I'm going to move some stuff over here in the middle of the dugout because it's blowing in on us. So I think we might as well just turn it off. I know we have a home game hopefully next Thursday night. We'll be back on the air. We will be bringing you all the tournament action for Jackson boys baseball. So what an exciting time this has been.
All right. Once again, the Jackson Ironmen defeat the Miami Trace Panthers 3-1. Their 20th win of the season against only one loss. They win the gold ball, meaning they're 10-0 finishing in the Frontier Athletic Conference. And they tack on a win against a good team, the Miami Trace Panthers, who fall to 14-4 with this loss. 2 of those losses against the Ironmen, of course. So for Dan Morrow, for our sponsors, for our great tech crew doing the streaming, this has been Pete Wilson. Good evening, everybody.
Thanks for watching Jackson High School Sports live on YouTube.